The system called the E4D system, it utilizes a laser to take the impression. You know, instead of using a rubber base impression or a polyvinyl impression, it's just a laser that goes in the mouth and it scans the teeth and it builds a 3D CAD/CAM sort of image of what's in the mouth, and it's very accurate.
So this is instead of taking a cast of someone.
Exactly. It's all done with the computer and a laser. And then on that model that's built within the computer, we design and make the crown on the computer, and we tweak it, and we get the contacts with the adjacent teeth just right, and adjust the bite, and the anatomy, and the curvatures of the cusps and everything. We get it just the way we want it, then we transfer it wirelessly from the design center to the milling machine. And the milling machine,
you have a blanket you've got in the milling machine.
we put a cube in of porcelain, and there's diamonds in there that mill. One of them mills the outside of the crown while the other one's milling the inside. And it's accurate to 4 microns, which is 4/1000ths of a millimeter. And it's very cool. You can take an Explorer, which is that little pick we use for checking teeth, and we can run it across the margin where the crown stops and the real tooth begins, and it's just flush. It's so cool. The margins are beautiful, and that's very important when you have a crown done. The other beauty is the patient doesn't have to wait for their long-term crown. It's made here the same day. And we put it in, and they walk out the door with their long-term crown installed, done. One appointment.
So how long does it take to make it then?
It takes us right now about 3 1/4 to 4 hours from start to finish. You know, the freezing, prepping the tooth, putting the cord in between tooth and gum so that we retract the gum away from the tooth so we can get a good shot of the margin from the laser.
Right.
And then designing the crown and milling it, and then trying it in the mouth and tweaking it in the mouth before we bake it in the oven or the kiln. It goes in a little kiln that we have here, and it gets fired up to about 850 degrees Celsius. That melts the glaze and stains into the surface of the crown. Yeah, that's artwork. It's fun. It allows one to be creative. And what we try and do is make the crown look as much as we can to the adjacent teeth. And that's really important if you're doing front tooth. One of the hardest things to do is a single central incisor, because that's right up front. And you have to match it to the neighbor so it looks like it grew in with it when those teeth are up. That's a challenge, that's a challenge. And sometimes we've had to refire a crown a couple of times. You know, we can take a rubber wheel that's impregnated with abrasive, and we just run it over the crown, and we can take the stain off, do it again, restain it, and fire it again. So, yeah, that's the challenging part.